as I said, I've been briefed by AEMO. I spoke this morning to the Chief Executive, Mr Westerman, and to the Secretary of my department and senior officials of my department, as well as discussing the situation with each of the state energy ministers. Action is necessary and action is being taken. AEMO, as has been publicly announced, has implemented the gas supply guarantee mechanism, and AEMO have advised me that this is already showing some improvement in gas supply and will continue to show some improvement in gas supply to the southeastern states over coming days. The situation is serious, but it is being managed by our regulators very professionally, and it is important that Australians know that the new government has confidence in our regulators, in AEMO and in the Australian Energy Regulator, to take the necessary action and to advise governments accordingly. They have our confidence. They are world-class regulators, and Australians should and can have confidence in them. I make clear that the Albanese Labor government will take whatever action is necessary to ensure ongoing reliability and affordability for the energy markets, particularly on the East Coast. But I also make this point. The days of knee-jerk reactions, the days of ad hoc interventions, the days of implementing ill-thought-out policies are the days of the last 9 years. They are not the days of this government. This government will take action when necessary and appropriately. We will do so based on expert advice. We will do so cooperatively with our state and territory colleagues. The climate wars are over and the energy wars are over. We will do what is necessary and we won't shy away from hard decisions. But those decisions will be based on evidence, good policy, not on partisan politics, bickering, climate wars and culture wars. Now, I have spoken, as I said, to every state energy minister this morning and indicated to them that it is my intention to convene a meeting of all energy ministers early next week to be advised by AEMO and AER on the current supply situation, on any further necessary actions which may need to be taken by the Commonwealth or the states and territories working together cooperatively. I've been very encouraged by the response I've got from every single energy minister. Minister Keane, Minister Barnett, Minister Koutsantonis, Minister D'Ambrosio, Minister Johnson, Minister De Brenni, all of them, regardless of state, regardless of political party, have indicated that they welcome the federal government's actions this morning and will work very cooperatively with us. One further point before I take your questions. I've seen some media commentary, fair enough, and some commentary about the so-called gas trigger, the Australian Domestic Gas Security Mechanism. And I've seen some unnamed members of the government, former government, calling for us to implement it, despite the fact they never did. Now, as I said, a few points. The government will take whatever action is necessary based on advice. We are not today ruling out or in any particular action going forward over and above what I've announced today. But I do want to make these couple of points. The gas trigger, the ADGSM, is a trigger available to Minister King as Resources Minister. I've seen some commentary saying it should be pulled today to deal with this short-term crisis. I think that, with respect, is a misunderstanding of how the mechanism works or would work. It cannot come into force until 1 January next year, even if it was pulled today. It is not a short-term answer. There is a process outlined under law of consultation which would have to occur before it could be implemented. It is a supply trigger, not a price trigger. So for those unnamed anonymous members of the former government who are acting all hairy-chested on the way out the door, it is a policy they designed. It is not one designed to deal with the current crisis. And if the government, and Minister King, chooses to implement it, it will be done after full consideration and advice. Now, Minister King is, I know, talking to gas companies today about what supply they can bring online. I know Minister Husick is talking to large industrial users about their needs. The Treasurer is fully engaged and involved. And, of course, I've taken the actions outlined today. The government, on its first full day in office, is dealing with the situation we inherited. We will continue to take the action necessary, but we will do so in full consultation with the states and territories based on expert advice, and we will do so carefully, methodically and appropriately. The days of knee-jerk interventions were the Taylor era. It is not the era of this government.